AI agents are a really interesting topic right now, and the difference between maybe an AI agent and just a kind of normal AI workflow is you could imagine that workflow where maybe field report comes in from the field and you process that through an AI model to generate copy for a newsletter or something like that. That's always going to be kind of the same workflow, and you're just going to execute it over and over again. I would consider that a workflow or an automation, but an agent is something more that has access to various tools or external systems and actually executes more dynamic workflows. So a non-missional example of this would be, I want to ask an AI agent to book a car for me on Kayak. And so it needs access to the Kayak system via API. It needs maybe access to my emails to check for confirmations. It needs access to payment information through PayPal. And I could ask the AI agent to book the car, and it's going to access all of those external systems. But in another case, I might ask the AI agent just, hey, remind me of my confirmation number for my car rental. In that case, it doesn't have to execute the same interactions with the same systems. It might only need to access my email and tell me what my confirmation number is. So it's really this orchestrated use of external tools or external systems that defines an agentic use case versus just kind of an AI automation or AI assistant. Yeah, so in the missional context or the Bible translation context, you could imagine a set of tools that an agentic layer or an AI agent could have access to, everything from paratext to Progress Bible to Greek Room to project management software to HR software. And that agent could then orchestrate various workflows dynamically on top of those tools. For example, in a chat interface, I might be able to ask, hey, give me the key biblical term that's used in this translation project for this word. And if I had access to paratext and the project data, the agent could dynamically pull that out of that project and just give it to me in natural language without having me navigate the interface to find that thing. In another case, maybe I want to look at a translation project and say, hey, could you give me all of the 10 most recent comments that have been made on this latest draft of this project, and then create that in a PDF report and send it out via email to the translation team. That's going to use a kind of partially overlapping set of tools, but also another tool, maybe the email or the project management software. And so the really exciting and encouraging thing for me is that AI agents or this agentic orchestration layer could allow people that maybe aren't used to the various interfaces like paratext, or maybe would find it hard to navigate and find certain data sources, to just ask those questions in natural language and have the agent find those answers or execute those operations using the underlying tools, which I think could really broaden involvement while also still leveraging all the power of those tools that have been developed over decades. I think my one hot take about AI and Bible translation is that the bulk of the impact I think that AI will have is not actually in the translation task in the sense of the drafting task. I think drafting, of course, AI drafting will have a big impact. But if you imagine all of the other operational and review and even publishing or typesetting or engagement or team dynamics, operations, all of these things that are around the translation process that people spend so much time on, actually having AI help with those things, I think could create massive efficiency and allow people that honestly, around the world, translation teams are great at translating. There's just a lot of other things around the translation task that take a lot of time. And so allowing that kind of human element to really process through translation, again, assisted by AI drafting where that's possible, but also assisted by all this surrounding periphery of AI tooling and help, I think will make a huge impact. AI-assisted tools, I think, are a big part of what we're doing kind of day to day. We're a technology partner for organizations, so what we're providing is kind of private, secure technology solutions and access to private Gen AI models for organizations. But our company also uses these tools day to day to be efficient with the development and the coding that we're doing. So all of our team members use AI-assisted coding tools. But then also as a kind of operations and business help to us, we're using agents and assistants to help with things, everything from kind of analysis of various data sets that we have, asking natural language questions about usage or following up with our customers and summarizing issues that they've had. So operationally and kind of development-wise, we're doing that. I would say as we're partnering with different organizations, we're helping them mostly in 3 areas of using these tools. The first would be kind of access to and navigation of unstructured data. So think about like Word documents or files in SharePoint or Excel documents or onboarding materials or web pages. And all kind of organizations have a lot of this sitting around and they need quick access to that. They need a chance to ask, hey, what project did we do in Ecuador 2 years ago? I forget how that worked, right? And they can find that very quickly in the mess of all of these files. The second use case that we see a lot of is kind of data analytics. So often, companies or organizations will have, tracked structured data of projects that they've done in the past, or staff members and where they're at, or information about people groups, or information about translations. And we help organizations a lot also access that information in a non-technical way. So if I don't want to search through a dashboard or don't want to write a database query, I can ask, hey, how many people do we currently have serving in X country? And actually just get that answer in natural language. And then the third case would be kind of general automation. So again, similar to some of the operations stuff that I talked about before, things like, hey, there's going to be files dropped in this SharePoint folder. I want to process each of those, manipulate the data and output something else. So, field reports coming in from the field. I want to take those, which are often very raw and maybe not well written, and actually process those out into great copy for advancement purposes, something like that.